Hello and welcome to the product demonstration of WooCommerce Connector powered by Ksolves. We will see all the fundamental features of the WooCommerce Connector and how to install it. To make our WooCommerce Connector work, we need to keep in mind that we do install the Odoo-based Connector app first and then install the WooCommerce Connector app. As the WooCommerce Connector app is totally dependent on the Odoo-based Connector. So, the base connector can be installed simply by clicking on the install button. And then we need to search for the WooCommerce Connector app in the Odoo App Store and install it in the same way. It will take a short while to get installed. As we know that WooCommerce is an e-commerce plugin which is available for free by WordPress and is being used to maintain an online shopping store to operate for selling, preparing for orders, managing and handling deliverables, receiving payments, creation of invoices, and so on. Basically for your enterprise resource management work, which is associated with any e-commerce platform, is easily done by the WooCommerce. Now, let's talk about what makes a WooCommerce connector so special. Suppose we already use Odoo in our backend process as an ERP for some operations. We might notice that as an ERP, Odoo performs the same operations as the WooCommerce does. So, you have to use them separately over the WooCommerce first and then on the Odoo. In order to avoid maintaining the data on different platforms, WooCommerce Connector provides you the option of merging the data. Once processed on the either side, Odoo or WooCommerce, you will be able to sync that particular data with the other platform. That saves your time and reprocessing the data all over again. So this is how the UI of a WooCommerce connector looks like. It has a simple interactive dashboard which shows you some bar charts and shows you one equivalent convertible line graph as well. This basically tells you how much data you have synced either to the WooCommerce or from the WooCommerce. Now let's see creating an instance on a WooCommerce. One of the basic fundamentals of WooCommerce is an instance. Let's find out how to create an instance of WooCommerce. An instance of a WooCommerce is basically equivalent to a store. As I have this WooCommerce demo server here, I have created my own store and now I can use this to sell any of these products I feel like. So connecting this store to my Odoo will require creation of an instance. Creation of an instance can be directly handled by this unique button over here or from the top menu over here. Let's create an instance now. For this, you need to hit this create button and a short screen will pop up. Here, you need to give a name to your instance. For example, I have given it instance_dev. Now, I have to give the URL of the store, customer key, and customer secret. These are the three mandatory values which will link my WooCommerce instance to the WooCommerce server, which I own. I have entered the store URL and the key, and here goes the secret. Once all these three credentials are entered and saved, we will be able to connect our instance to the WooCommerce server with the same URL we have provided while creating the instance. We will click on this Connect Instance button and a confirmation message will just pop up. Once you close the pop-up, you will see a yellow banner over here showing that our instance is now connected. So that's how we create an instance of the WooCommerce. Activating the instance. In the previous session, we have seen how to create an instance on WooCommerce. Now, let's find out how to activate the particular instance. First, we will fill in some mandatory information over here, like in this Journal Information tab. We will fill the warehouse information, the main currency information, and next, we will click on the Order Information tab. We will fill in the sales team, salesperson, or whatever the option you want. As we see, the order prefix is already written over here. However, if you wish to rename it, you can do that as well. I have chosen the preferred address of the customer to be as the billing address. Next, we will click on the stock information and choose any of the relevant options from here. So these are the mandatory fields we need to fill before we activate an instance. Once all this is done, click on the Save button over here and then hit the Activate Instance button right after that. You will see a pop-up menu which says Activated successfully. After we close the pop-up, you will see that the yellow banner has now turned into green and says it's activated. On the top left corner, now you can see an option which says Deactivate Instance. You can use this option in case you don't want to continue with a particular store that you created. Now if you go back to the dashboard, you will see that the count of the instance which we just created has been added over here. The tabs below this will show all the statistics for products, variants, categories, or anything that we sync either from the WooCommerce or from Odoo. So this will help you to check the count of the products or the orders that you sync either from WooCommerce to Odoo or from Odoo to WooCommerce. So that's how we activate an instance. Now we will move on to the export and import feature of the WooCommerce. To find out the import feature in WooCommerce, first we need to click on the Instance tab here and we will see the instance configuration. If you look carefully, the various module configurations are present over here. These options allow you to enable or disable any particular feature or module to perform in an instance. To explain this in detail, for example, if I click on the Journal Information tab, you will see that it doesn't contain much information, but it has details on currency and warehouses. Similarly, in the Product Information tab, it tells us if we want to sync the images or prices. For example, if I select to sync the prices by pressing this button, so whenever I import a product, its price will be imported along. Same follows for all the other configuration tabs. After saving the desired configuration, we shall come back to this dashboard. Here we can see the specific operation button. This opens a panel for us, and here we choose the instance name. For now, it's auto-selected. And next we see the option for Operation Flow tab and select WooCommerce to Odoo, or we can select Odoo to WooCommerce as per the need, which we term as import and export. For example, if we choose WooCommerce to Odoo and then from the next tab, we can select if we want to import products, stocks, attributes, categories, and so on. Let's try importing products. Next, we will get these three major options if we want to import all the products which are so far created in our WooCommerce connector. The second option is to import the products with a specific ID filters. The last option is to import the products by date, like after and before any particular date. It will import all the products created in that particular time frame. For now, if we check the specific ID filter, you can select multiple records. For example, if we need to check 3 products with the ID number, say 25, 26, and 27, the details will be generated here from their owner code. Now, let's try to create a product and then import it. We will come back to our WooCommerce connector, click on the Products button, and then click Add New. Here, I am giving the name of this product as lamps. Next, we will add a short description. Let's say, these are floor lamps. Then, we will just keep its regular price, let's say 1500. Next is the inventory. Let's make it stock available, say 50 quantities, and then add some more details. Say weight as 250 and the rest dimensions as 15, 16 and 13. So now let's just publish this product. Once it is published, we will get a unique ID of this product. Our product is now published and can be seen over here in the products menu with its unique ID number. Now if we move to our instance and add this record ID over here and click execute, we will see this message which pops up and says WooCommerce operation has been performed. Further information will be there in the logs. For that, we will verify the details here from the Processes tab and click Ksolves. The record will be present in the Ksolves section, whether our operation is complete or is still in the queue. For example, our operation has been listed over here, and if we see the color of the record, it's green. And once you click on it, it shows over here that it's in the done state, which means this product has been imported successfully. Now to verify this product, we will go back to the Sales tab and find our product over here by simply searching with the product's name. Here it is lamps. As it's visible exactly the same way we created this product before, including all the details and the description. Another method of importing the data is also present over here, which is pull from WooCommerce. But this has some conditions with it. That is, the product must be imported once, so you can pull that individually. Let's check it over here in this image snippet. Importing products can be done by these two methods. Either from instance, using the specific operation button, or from pulling it individually from the product record. But in that case, the product must be imported once. And that's how an import feature in WooCommerce works. Now let's move on to the export feature. As we have seen how the import feature works, the export feature of the products works almost the same as the import feature. First method is individually from the product record with the option of Push to WooCommerce button in every product record we create. This button gives an option of pulling single or multiple record at a time. Second option is through selecting the specific operations which we need to export. The only restriction with this method is that only those records which are once exported can be exported again using this specific operation method. Let's find out how it works. For that, we need to create a product first. So here, I'm naming my product as stamping machine, mentioning the product type as storable, keeping the sale price as 240, we'll keep the categories as all, adding some dimensions. After that, we will save it and add some stocks. Let's say quantity to 150 and save it. Now that we have a product called stamping machine, we have added its details like price, dimensions and stock. So by simply clicking on the product name, next we will see these tabs over here which says push to WooCommerce or pull from WooCommerce. If we click on the Push to WooCommerce button, it will pop up a short screen which will ask us to fill in these details, like selecting your instance name through which you're trying to export the data. After we do that, we can select these attributes which we want to check and export. Let's say if I select the price and stock options, so these options present over here will allow you to enable and disable some features which you want to add or export on WooCommerce, or in case you don't want to add or simply you want to restrict them. For example, if I select this set image option and try to add any image on the product, that image will automatically be exported to my WooCommerce. It also allows us to select or restrict variation images or even a single image option as well. Now, after filling all these details, if we click the execute button, it says success and please refer to the logs. Before checking the logs, we know that this record will be in my Ksolves. So let's go back to the WooCommerce dashboard and click on the Processes tab over here and then click Ksolves. We can see over here it says it's already in progress. We shall wait for a moment and it will be done. As we can see now, the unique ID has been created and updated over here. So let's check this product in All Products tab. The stamping machine product is now visible with all the details which we have put. Now if we go and check it again in our product section, just click on this smart button over here which says WooCommerce Products. It contains the link to the layer model of the particular product. This layer model contains the metadata of any product or order which has been exported. As we know that the metadata will contain the response part, as details on when this layer was created and when it was synced. As shown on the screen, after this product has been exported, also there is a button on the top right corner of this tab that says it's synchronized with Woo. This is a key point which identifies whether your product or order has been synced with Woo or not. Let's find out how it actually works. For example, if we edit and change the price of this product, let's say from $240 to $250, and just save it. After that, if we check on this WooCommerce Products button, you will find it's not synced and will show over here as unsynchronized with Woo. This feature actually helps you identify whether your product is in the synced state or it's a complete new product which has never been exported before, or it is in the unsynced state but was once exported. This is how we distinguish and process this over here. So that's all about the product import and export feature. Let's find out how the import customer feature works. Before we move forward and check how the importing and exporting customer works in the WooCommerce, let's check this bar chart and see that now it's showing the values for products which we recently imported and exported. Also, the corresponding products and its categories are now updated on the layer navigation, which you can see on this tab over here. So gradually, with each operation being performed, these values will keep on adding in their respective tabs and sections and will store the statistical data of your import and export part. Now let's see how import and export of customer works. It's actually very similar to the import and export of products. As we just have to click on the specific operation button, we will choose WooCommerce to Odoo and select import of customers from here. Now to find out this feature in more detailed manner, let's create a new customer and follow the steps from scratch. From the tab menu, just click on the users in the WooCommerce server, then click Add New. Give it a username, say Richard, and add the email address, last name, and add the role to it as customer. Then click Add New User. After that, once it is created, we shall search for this username over here and open this user. Here we can add the billing address and phone number. In case we want to add a shipping address different than the billing address, we can do that as well. For that, we will just simply add the city, postal code, country, and update the user. Now to import this particular customer, we will again click on the specific operations button. We will select Import Customers, and to import this record, we shall add this filter as to choose by the record ID. We shall add the specific ID to this record and click Execute. It will pop up that the WooCommerce operation has been performed. Again, we will refer to our queue jobs. Here it shows that it is in progress. And after a few seconds, it shows that it has been imported. Let's verify this by clicking on the Sales button on the top left corner over here. And then click Orders. And then Customers. After that, we will just simply search for this username on the search tab. As we see, the customer Richard Morris with all the details has been created. And since we have selected the billing address as New York, so by default the contact address of this customer is in the same way. In case we would have chosen this shipping address as the default address in the configuration process, then this contact address over here would have been the same way as the shipping address. So this is how we import customers using the specific ID method. We can also import this from this option called Pull from WooCommerce. But this has the same condition as we have seen in import and export of products, that the record must be imported once already. In case there are some changes in the WooCommerce site, we can sync that directly for any particular record. For example, if we check it from WooCommerce Customers tab over here, it will show us the layer model with all the details in metadata, which also contains its syncing information. In case we choose to change any of these details or data in this particular customer, it will be unsynced again, which we can understand from these values whether our customer has been synced or not. Now if we go back to the dashboard, we will find out that there is a change in the bar chart and one value has been added over here in this customers chart, as we have just imported one customer. So that's all about the import customer feature.